Hello everyone, Dana Gorilla here with Stampin' the Pink Barn, coming to you from a nice and sunny and bright Tucson, Arizona. After the last couple of days that we've had with the storms that have been coming in, it was kind of nice today to get a little bit of a more warming trend, to have the sun come back up and brighten all of my plants up and all that kind of stuff, because the last couple of days it has been very cold. We actually had some snowflakes come down over the weekend, which was absolutely beautiful. It's so neat to watch the snow come down on this, the desert with the cactus and stuff. It's just not something you see very often. So it's just kind of a neat thing to experience. It didn't last and it didn't stick. It was just, you could just see it coming down for just a couple of minutes. And then it was gone just as quick as it came. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Kay. Hello, Marcia. Welcome, you guys. Hi, Denise. Hello, Becky. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Hi, Becky. You guys are all just coming in and sharing my video. Thank you guys so much for doing that for me. You know that is always appreciated. Let's see what is going on here. Now I'm trying two different devices today to see that I make sure I get all of my comments coming up, because the other day I was just having a heck of a time that my old device in front of me just kept pausing up on us and wouldn't let me actually see your guys' comments. So I have my computer going over here too, so we'll hope that at least one of them stay going so I can make sure I can see what you guys are saying. 7 inches of rain in Georgia. Woo! Within 24 hours. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did hear, well, I know the storm that came through up here, because we're in Arizona, it went through California first. And I do know that I was reading, or not reading, but I saw on the news that San Diego, California had some like horrendous flooding there, because the rains came down so fast and there were so many storms behind it. And it just, I mean, we kept having storm after storm after storm, that now it's, you know, past us, and now it's going towards, you know, more of the East Coast. So yeah, I can imagine you guys are getting hit, because we did have it. We had like 3 days of pretty good steady rain. It was kind of crazy. Luckily, no flooding here for us. Hello, Sherry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, wow. So Kay says that it's not very often this time of year that they don't have any snow on the ground. So, that's, you know, things are changing. I'm telling you, it's pretty wild what goes on in this world. And it's, you know, the longer you live here on this earth, the more you see things forever changing around us, you know, climate, all that kind of stuff. And, I mean, being here in Tucson for now a little bit over 10 years, I've really seen a huge change here. Now, we do have the monsoons during the summer, but it seems like we've been, the last couple of years, we've actually had more rain than normal. And so, yeah, we've been seeing changes too. And like having the snow come down, it happens, but it seems like the last couple of years, it's been pretty consistent with us getting snow at least like 1 day or 2 days in either January or February. Now, we never really have a white Christmas here. That's not a thing. But yeah, it's pretty crazy the way things are going. And then you keep hearing about all this flooding that's going on around us. And, you know, it's pretty creepy and scary about, you know, what's going on. And the only time we deal with any kind of flooding here in Tucson is when we have our monsoons. And that's because it's such a torrentious, like, downpour of, like 45 minutes straight of rain. And you would think that, knowing it's not like monsoons or something new that just popped up, that they would have constructed roads a little bit better, but it just doesn't seem to be that way. We have a lot of like underpasses, under freeways, that get flooded out and you can't go underneath those. And it's like, well, wait a minute, whoever did that, why didn't you design like some kind of culvert or something? I don't know. It just kind of doesn't make sense that a city that is used to it year after year after year, for God knows how many ages, they would have designed the streets a little bit better. I did see that they have designed this new kind of asphalt. Can't tell you what it's called because I have no idea what the name of the stuff is, but it actually absorbs the water. So it has some kind of like not pulling, but it's like a wicking kind of material that it absorbs and wicks the water through. And they can actually contain that water for later on use. Like it goes, the way that it is funneled through, they can set up some kind of channels to save that water and preserve it for, you know, summer months when we are in, I mean, I guess not summer months because summer months we have monsoons, but it is very, very dry. Like our driest, hottest month is typically June here. June is awful here. But again, the last couple of years, it has been kind of different. Last year was kind of the first year that I noticed that it didn't really get that hot. And now maybe that was just a fluke thing. And maybe, you know, this year we're going to get whammo-bammoed and we're going to be like 125 degrees, which is yuck. But it is what it is. And in June, we all kind of just hunker down and stay in our homes. We don't make plans to go do much around. So, yeah, it's just wild the way things are going. And, you know, like Kay, there's no snow on the ground, and that's crazy for them because they're used to having snow. So yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's just kind of one of those things that you just kind of observe and, you know, just hope that it doesn't affect things in the long run, but who knows? Hello, Frida. So, what else was I going to tell you guys? So, that's what I was going to ask you. Any of you guys have, you know, plans for Valentine's Day coming up? I would tell you my plans, but I don't want to ruin it because my husband doesn't know what I'm doing. I am one of those people who I never plan anything for holidays. Like at least for like Easter, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, I don't really go big on those holidays. Christmas and Thanksgiving are my thing, and Halloween. So this year he's been asking, you know, what are we going to do for Valentine's Day? Well, I'm like, whatever you do not plan on us going out because I do not deal well with crowds. And especially Valentine's Day is one of those days where it's really hard to get a seat anywhere and they're normally super crowded. And, you know, and the way things are is they're probably going to be understaffed. And I don't want to deal with that. That does not sound like fun for me. Hello, Cheryl. And so, I was like, don't plan on going and doing anything. So I kind of had a little talk with my son, and, you know, I told my son what I had gotten for him, and I told him, I go, but I need you to help me. So I know he's not watching, but I'm not going to give away too much, but I will tell you guys that I'm going to do a scavenger hunt for his present. So I have been coming up with all these, you know, I've been on Pinterest and I have been searching all these kinds of scavenger hunts to put up little tabs throughout the house. So I've got to come up with a way because Wednesday he's got the day off. So I've got to try to figure out how to place these sticky notes around without him finding it first thing, you know, because a couple of the clues have to do with things like in our bedroom. Like one says something about the fact that where you lay your head or something like that. So you're supposed to put a sticky note under his pillow, and then he would flip his pillow and he'd find the next clue. And so I'm like, how am I going to do that when he is like in bed sleeping? That would be weird. Oh, don't mind me sticking my hand under your pillow. I mean, that would be, he'd freak out. He'd be like, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill me? So I've got to come up with a way. And because I know in the morning, like he gets up and he washes his face and he brushes his teeth, but one of them is about like where you see your reflection. So in other words, the mirror. So how am I going to do that? How am I going to stick a sticky note in there and then know that he's going to walk in the bathroom and he's going to see that And he's going to be like, what is that? And what are you doing? So I've got to come up with a way that maybe I can quickly, because when he goes out on Wednesday morning to feed all of our animals, he's normally out there for about 10-15 minutes. So I've got to have all these sticky notes prepared. So by the time he comes back in the house, I can have them placed and then make him sit down for clue number 1. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out in my mind. And I was having my son maybe go and, like, once he gets up, have him go put it underneath the pillow so it's not me doing it, so he doesn't think that I'm being weird. So I don't know. I got to come up with something. So I'm just sitting here. The hamster is running in my head trying to come up with a good idea. And so since I don't do anything for him, normally, I mean, yeah, I give him a card and, you know, sometimes we'll wait until the following weekend or whatever, and then we'll go out and have a meal or something. But he's going to be just mind boggled that I have taken the initiative to come up with something and make him go through it. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I could totally have my mom call him over. See, I didn't even think about that. I could have her come up with, she's good at that kind of stuff. I'll have her tell him that he needs to come over. And see, if we lived in town, sending him to the store would be great. But we live so far out that I wouldn't see him for like 2 hours if I sent him to go to the store. Because I thought about that. I was like, I wonder if I tell him that I forgot to get like chocolates for the kids or something, and then have him run into town. But then I was like, okay, but if it takes him 2 hours, I'm going to be like sitting around going, oh my gosh. And because he'll probably take my car if he was to go into town. And one of the things is you stick one of the sticky notes on the windshield wiper. It says something about the car you drive, something, and then you're supposed to tuck it in between the windshield wipers for one of the clues. So I don't know. It'll all work itself out, and it'll either work great or it'll be a flop. But it's me putting in the effort that counts, right? I hope. Fingers crossed. He'll be surprised no matter what I do, because it's just me doing something. Okay, so I have got some super cute cards to share with you guys tonight. I am using one of the Sale-A-Brations items. It is called the Watercolor Melon. My upline, my team leader, Kelly, showed a card a couple weeks ago, I think. But it was also one of our virtual swap cards using this set. And it is the cutest. And it is an awesome little technique that she showed as well. So if you guys have seen that, then you're going to see it again, because I'm going to show it again. But you know what? Showing a technique twice and you seeing it twice is just more for you to go out and want to try this technique as well. So yeah, we're going to have fun. Super cute set this is. The only thing that I wish it had is I wish it had some sentiments with it, because it's one of those stamp sets that there's no sentiments. So I've had to pull sentiments in from other cards or from other stamp sets when I used a sentiment. But that's okay, because we've got so many sentiment sets that I don't ever really use that often, because most of our sets do have 1 or 2 sentiments in there that coordinate with that stamp set. So it gave me time to pull out my stamp sets that have sentiments that I don't normally use, and I got to use them. So we're going to get to those. I also have a couple of the new more to celebrate items that came in my order that I'm going to share with you guys as well. So I think I'm just going to get you guys flipped around here. I'll show you the papers that I'm going to be using. Yeah, all right, so hold tight. I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We're going to get into giveaways. I'm going to share with you a beautiful card that I got from one of our members on here who watch all the time, one of our friends, Miss Peggy. Her cousin actually sent me a card thanking me for just all I do and that I share with you guys and giving you guys inspiration. So I'll show that to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to get you guys flipped around. Hold tight. Okay, I think that will work. You guys aren't staring at my feet, at least. That's a good thing. Okay, I think that's a little bit more centered there. Okay, cool. That works. So over the weekend, we have a new paper pumpkin that has been in our rotation. So now we are on March kit, which is the Memorable Meadows. This actually comes with a free stamp set. So not only are you going to get your normal photopolymer stamp set in there, but they're actually going to be throwing in a free stamp set as well. So you're going to get 2 stamp sets in this month's kit. So you can subscribe now through March 10th for this kit. It says share nature's beauty with lovely all occasion cards. It's going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with coordinating envelopes, some pre-cut vellum pieces and wood embellishments, coordinating with the Meandering Meadows Sweet Collection. And the coordinating colors are the Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, which is going to be the classic Stampin' Spot, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, Gorgeous Grape, and Fresh Freesia are the colors in this kit coming up. So you have till March 10th to subscribe to that one. You can read about that over on my blog, stampinthepinkbarn.com is where you will find the Memorable Meadows and how to subscribe to that. You're also going to see if you would like to buy the prepaid subscription. It is awesome to purchase this right now. Hello, Courtney. Hello, Anna. Hello, Linda. Welcome, you guys. It is a wonderful way to get some of those extra celebrations items during the prepaid. If you buy the prepaid during celebrations, I know a lot of people do purchase this during this time of year. So we have the 3-month, the 6-month, and the 12-month. So know that if you buy the 12-month, you are going to get either 4 of our level 1s or 2 of our level 2 celebrations items. Plus you're going to get your Stampin' Rewards of $24.30 as well. Now, when I say Stampin' Rewards, that means Stampin' Up! Is going to give you extra money to spend in our store once you go over $150. That's why I always tell you guys, do not use my host code if your order is over $150, because you're going to get Stampin' Rewards. So in other words, Stampin' Up! Is going to give you free money once your order is over $150. I want you guys to have those. If your order is under $150, please use my host code. That is what is going to get you my weekly kit. So for instance, once I get done with sharing our promotions, I will share the kit with you for this week, which is going to be using that watercolor melon stamp set. So this is a great way to get some of those extra celebrations. And just remember that if you have already gotten everything that you want from our celebrations brochure, and you are now just kind of sitting in limbo wondering, hey, is there more for me to choose from? Because maybe you've either gotten everything in here or you've gotten the things that you wanted to have. We now have 10 more things added to our celebrations. So celebrations last through the 29th of February. So you've still got a couple of weeks to earn these items. So with every $50 that you spend, you get to pick one of the items that have the green little symbols on them. Or if you spend $100, you get a level 2, which are the orange ones. So in this last order that I just placed, I went ahead and got the, this is our new core color collection that they have offered us as a celebrations items if you get the level 2. So in other words, when you spend $100, you can qualify for to get this in your as your freebie. So really, really cool. This comes with all of those new the new core colors that they've added back to our color collection. And then I added, because Father's Day is right around the corner, I got the Beside Me stamp set. This is a level 1 celebrations item. So yeah, this is the red rubber, and it's just got some really cute little images on here with like dad and his kids teaching them how to ride a bike, kind of just showing them what to do. Here they're fishing. You've got, you know, quite a few really neat little sentiments. Grateful for you all year long. You've always been there for me, and you still are. Celebrating you today, beside me all the way. Happy Father's Day, and thank you, Dad. So, really, really cool stamp set. You can earn that free. And there's lots of other things on here. I also got the Robot Buddy kit. I forgot to bring that one over. Geez, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I should have brought that. I'll show that next week to you guys. So yeah, there's some extra fun things added to this. Also, the stripes and splatters, 3D embossing folders. Those are really super fun too. So you can see this brochure on my, over on my blog. When you sign up to be a demonstrator, so the really cool thing about signing up during celebrations is you get always an extra little perk. So this year, they have decided to give your join special. You can pick this glass mat with the silicone pad and the little cloth chamois here. You can either add that to your kit and still pay that low price of $99 and pick $125 worth of product. Or they've done something extra on top of that, that if you don't want the glass mat, if that's not something that you really think you need to have, you can pick option number 2 and you can add $30 more to your $125 worth of product. So that means you get to pick $135 or $155 worth of product and add it to your starter kit. So you get to pick anything that you want that's in any of our current catalogs, in our online exclusives. Also, I want you guys to know that right now we are in a pre-order for some wonderful new online exclusives items. And those are going to be opened for you to actually put into your starter kit. So it's really fun that when you join the team during a pre-order time, you get to get a glance and get to add those to your starter kit. So yeah, if you pick option 2, you get to pick $155, but you still only pay $99 for that. You're going to get free shipping. All orders that you place after that, you're going to get a 20% discount on for future orders. You're going to get free shipping on that. And you're going to get a free paper pumpkin in there. So if you've wondered what the paper pumpkin's all about, there you go. You're going to get one in your kit. So you cannot go wrong with this. I want you guys to know that if you plan on placing an order that's around $100, I really, really, really can't emphasize more. You guys should join the team because there's no downfall from joining. If it's not for you and you don't want to be a discount shopper anymore, you just simply just let it go. That's the way it is. There's no repercussions. Nobody is like, shame on you. You shouldn't. There's none of that. We will be sad to let you go, but just know, you can always rejoin and it's not a big deal. Okay. Right now I have my Stippled Rose, my online class to offer for you guys. This is also over on my blog. You can read all about it. It does have these products that are going to be used in these cards. Absolutely beautiful cards. I have created 5 cards. You're going to get enough product to be able to and prepaid cardstock. You're going to get some of the designer series paper in there. You're going to get a half a pack of these beautiful gems in there. You're going to get a sheet of the champagne of the More Dazzle. You're going to get a yard of the gold. I actually have the gold right here. You're going to get the gold. This is called the Simply Elegant Trim. And then you're going to get enough product in there to create 10 cards. So you're going to be making 2 of each of my 5. So really, really cool. This kit is amazing. I have a very limited quantity of these. So if you want it, you need to register for it now so I can get that in the mail to you. You will get a PDF sent right to your email. So you can start looking at those. You can read that over while I am getting that mailed to you. So just to let you guys know. All right, let me put that away. So if you want to find that kit quickly on my blog, all you have to simply do is go to the categories on the right-hand side, and down below it'll say kit class. And the kit class is where you're going to find my upcoming kits that I have decided to bring back for you guys, because I have had quite a few people request me to bring my kits back, because those kind of give you all the stuff you need. Besides, you will have to purchase the bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. But I include all the papers for you. And then, like I said, those gems and some of that twine. Look, she made me another fancy coffee. This one's not caramel this time, though, because I'm not a fan of caramel. It was good last week, though. Don't get me wrong. It was really yummy, and I drank the whole thing. But this time I told her, I go, let's try something different. So she did the chocolate syrup with chocolate sprinkles. Yep, it's like a dessert. Okay, so let's get to our giveaways from last week. So last week we did all the sweet little Valentines. This is the Country Bouquet set that I worked with. This card for liking last week's video. So throw me up some of those thumbs, throw me up some of the little hearts, and that will get you in the drawing for one of my cards that we're going to create tonight. And so this one here, this is one of those cute ones that we did. This is going to go to Miss Vicki Ekins. Vicki, this is coming your way. So watch for your happy mail. Super cute little Valentine's card that you can share with one of your loved ones. The next one for commenting on the video. So come in, let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know what your weather is, because I'm kind of a weather geek. This one here is kind of one of those like shabby chic cards. This one is going to go to Miss Peggy Brandon. So Peggy, this is coming to you. So, so pretty. Then for sharing last week's video, so when you come in here, click that little arrow down at the bottom so you can share this video. It'll bring up another little screen. Hit that blue share now. It's going to post that to your news feed. So any of your friends who are on your news feed, if they want to pop in here and say hello to you, or just watch and see all the fun is to be creating cards, that's always wonderful. Courtney says there is heavy raining just starting now. Oh no, hopefully you don't lose internet connection. We don't want to lose you, girl. Not a caramel fan. We can't be friends. Yeah, no, you know, the thing that's really, really super funny. My husband loves caramel. And I was explaining to my mom, I said, I don't think it's necessarily, because we were at, where did we go last? Oh, Home Goods. And so we were looking for syrups for our coffee. And everything on the planet had to do with caramel. And I was like, well, you know, I guess I'm just getting caramel. And so I told her, I go, I think it's not that I don't like caramel. It's not that I don't like the flavor of caramel. I don't like the texture of caramel. That's what it is. Like, you know, when you buy those little Rolos or whatever the heck they're called, it's that sticky, gooey, like in between my teeth. It's that drives me nuts. It's not necessarily the flavor. So I think I'm okay with like caramel, but I just don't like that gummy, ooey, I don't know what it is. Because the flavoring's good, because I can drink the flavoring syrup all day long and it's not a problem. But Yeah, my husband loves anything to do with caramel. So I'm like, of course I have to be so different. Okay, so for sharing last week's video, share that video for me so we can get more viewers in here and more people to enjoy our crafting with us. This here is the Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. This has got, well, I don't want to open this up, but this has got all these, all you're seeing right now is the back side of these. When you flip these over, they're all this really pretty gold foil. These are little punch out. They're already laser cut for you. They are little things that you can put on there and you can stamp in them. You can use them as frames. You've got all these really pretty leaves that you could add to little banners on the side that are just beautiful. And then it comes with a pack of little sequins as well. This is going to go to Miss Sheila Isley. So Sheila, this is coming your way. Congratulations and thank you guys all for your support. You guys know that I couldn't do this without you. Okay, so for that super cute little card that Peggy's cousin Janice, they are actually going to be joining my team here soon. She sent me this super cool, and it almost looks like a mosaic, almost like a quilt that she has created the background of this card. It's just a cute little thank you card that she sent me. And she was just, and look, she even embossed the inside of this card as well. She was just thanking me for, even though, you know, I'm not their team leader yet, that all the help that I have been, you know, offering to them, because it's just kind of how I roll. And I say that to anybody and everybody. I don't care whose team you're on or what you're doing. If you need any help, I will always be there to help you. That's just how I am. So, yeah, she was just thanking me for, you know, helping them out. So cool that she sent that to me. Okay, so I think it is time to get down to the cards that we're going to make. So I need to have my little tissue there. I don't want to lose that because that's for card number 2. So I know if I set that aside, I'm going to lose it. But I'll keep it in close proximity. Jeez Louise, words are hard. To make sure that I don't lose it. So this week's kit is going to look a little bit something like this. You're going to get a kit in the mail. So when you make a purchase of $35 or more in my online store, and you must use my current February host code, you are going to get a kit in the mail that looks just like this. Each one of the cards are going to be individually placed inside of their own envelopes. The insides of the cards will be tucked in the back. So you know that those will be the insides of your cards, but it will come just like this. So each card will be individually placed inside of an envelope. So all your pieces will be separated by card. You will need to have the stamp set that I am playing with tonight. This is called the Watercolor Melon. Now, if you don't have this, there's probably many other stamp sets that you probably already have in your collection that you will be able to use this product for as well. This is earned as a $50 level 1 celebrations item. This is really, really fun. I've also seen some cards being created with this. They're using these as little pizza slices. So that is super duper cute also, because it just kind of opens up a whole new world for this stamp set. All right, so let's get to it. This is card number 1 that we're going to be making. This is using quite a few of the different little elements. I have brought in some other paper that I will show you to use with this, because this is just kind of a standalone stamp set. There's no papers that coordinate with it. Well, I mean, you can find papers that coordinate with it, but there's no suite or anything like that. There's no dies that go with it. But I will tell you that our modern oval punch coordinates very nicely with this, because this shape here, let me turn it around this way so it's not glaring at you. This shape right here cuts out this watermelon perfectly. So if you have this, you're going to probably want this stamp set as well. So this is the card that we're going to be making. So let me grab the stuff for that. So my card base, I am using basic black. This is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to actually use this instead of going this way when we normally score a card like this. We normally make it as an opening like this, but I'm going to actually go sideways with it. So it's going to be a landscape style, but with that odd shape fold. My other piece that I'm using, this is a piece of the Be Mine. It comes right out of that cute little bumblebee set that we've used. I'm using this paper here, and I'm using the one with the little bee stitching behind it. So that is in our Sweet Sorbet color. And then my other piece that I am using, it comes from the Meandering Meadows Designer Series paper. Now this is part of our online exclusives. You won't find this in any catalog. So when you go to shopdannygarola.com, you're going to scroll down on the side. There's going to be a little menu. If you go down to the online exclusives, you can type in Meandering Meadows and it will bring up the whole suite collection that is with this. This paper and that suite is this the suite that I was telling you guys about that matches with the March paper pumpkin kit. So I have decided to use the piece of paper here that has these greens in it. It really looks like the rind of a watermelon if you look at it. So I have picked that paper to use for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bit of glue across here. Like so. And now I know that this piece and this piece, I'm going to bring it over here to my glass mat, and I'm going to use my glass mat as my ruler. So I'm going to place this on here, watching my lines. And then when I lay this down, I'm going to make sure that this goes to 4, because I know that 4 is the mat size that I want for this card. So I'm just going to line this piece up with the 4 and run that down that. Just like so. Okay, and there is my piece that I will then place on here. So how many of you guys watched the Super Bowl yesterday? Are any of you guys sports fans? Now, I am not a sports fan. I will tell you guys that. And probably a lot of you guys will unfriend me for that just alone. Besides the fact that I don't like caramel. But no, I'm not a sports fan. But I know this is really kind of a stupid thing. But I was more or less watching the whole like unfolding of the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce kind of drama that I knew that was probably going to be brought up, which it didn't, which is kind of cool that I didn't necessarily watch it. I just made sure I saw like all the little clippets that, you know, of course the media was taking pictures of the two of them and then saying little, you know, memes on there and kind of just making a joke out of things. But I just thought, you know, kind of coincidentally, the Chiefs won. Now, whether they're a good team or not, I don't have any idea. But it seems like ever since Taylor Swift kind of came into the picture of this whole thing, and I like Taylor Swift. I think she is a great person. She's been around. She's been making great music for a long time. But it seems like it's just kind of coincidental that nobody really knew who this Travis kid was. I mean, that I heard of, not being a sports person. I'd never heard the kid's name. Well, he's not a kid, but this man's name. And then all of a sudden, him and Taylor Swift, and then now he's like on everything. Like I was just talking to my son, I go, did you see that they actually have a haircut that is now named the Travis Kelce haircut. So you could go to the salon and you can ask for the Travis Kelce haircut. I just thought I'd go, oh, really? They've taken it to that level now. Hello, Linda. So I have brought in the gingham ribbon here, the black and white gingham ribbon. I just thought this went really well on the black card base. It just kind of brings out another pop of color to this. So I'm going to just run that right across the seam here. Yeah, my parents, well, actually not my mom. She's not a sports fan either, but my stepdad had the neighbors come over and they all sat here and watched it. So I was more or less just kind of stalking the news and seeing, you know, what people were saying and coming up with about, you know, the whole scandal, not scandal, but you know what I'm saying, the whole Swiftie Travis thing, which I think they're totally cute. I did hear today that there may be wedding bells in the future, which would be so cute. I think they're a really cute couple though, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to now place that right on my card base. Yeah, I was hearing that she also won quite a few Grammys this year also. And it really doesn't surprise me because I've been watching, or not necessarily watching, but I've just been seeing her. I remember when she was just this young kid first coming out into the music industry. And she has been around for just ever, it seems like. And she's still forever making, you know, great music and is still very, very popular. She hasn't lost any of that popularity, which just seems crazy because she's been around for a while, which is good. All right, so then I need a scrap of basic white. And with that scrap, I am going to take the contoured scallop dies, and I'm going to take the center one, which is the third one in and the third one up, the very center one, and I'm going to place it on my scrap of white, and I'm going to die cut that. And when I do, I'm going to get a piece that looks just like so. I also need another scrap that this is where we're going to stamp those watermelon pieces and fussy cut those out. Because like I said, there is no die that goes with this. So you have to, if you're going to bring in any of your little shapes, you're going to have to fussy cut those, which they're super easy to do so on. But that watermelon, like I said, does go with the modern oval punch. Okay, so let's bring out some of these stamps. We're going to need the big watermelon. So let's get that on here. I should have done this earlier, mounted all these two here, but I was out visiting with my mom and talking to her, and I didn't get it done. So I'm just going to mount these right now so we can get those going. Okay, I also need, the leaf. And I'm going to need the little rind piece that goes on the back of our little slices. Okay, like that. And we need our watermelon seeds. I might as well have just mounted every single one of these. Okay, there we go. We'll use that one later. All right, so now we're gonna do some stamping on this. So the colors that I have chosen for this, we need to have our Granny Apple Green, we need to have our Sweet Sorbet, and our Garden Green. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stamp my watermelon. Watermelon. Love watermelon. And watermelon grows kind of easy down here in the warm climate. And so I keep saying that I need to get when I lived down in the other house, I used to grow the personal sized little round watermelons, and I need to get those going again this year. And they grow during the summer. And oh, the only thing is they do take quite a bit of water. And living here in the desert, we are pretty scarce with our water and conservative, but watermelon are worth it. So I'm just gonna use my Granny Apple Green now and just put a couple of leaves on here. Just one there. And then I'm gonna do one up here. Kind of going this way, just like so. I love the little corkscrew little piece that they have on there coming out of the little vine. All right, and then on my scrap, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. On my scrap, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my 2 little watermelon slices here. So I'm going to take this little wedge and stamp it there. And then I'll take this wedge and stamp it here. Okay. Then coming back in with my garden green, I will do the little melon rind. And hopefully you guys aren't getting a screenshot of my head, but I have to be able to see. And then we will do this side. Just like that. Okay. And then I need some black because, of course, our little watermelons need some seeds. I mean, you could have seedless. That's kind of the way I roll. But I think it just adds character when we put some seeds in there. Okay. So there are our seeds. Okay, I'm going to fussy cut these. Well, let's close this really quick so I don't stick my hands in it. Okay, there is that one. And then you've got some little bite marks that somebody's already taken a nice little bite out of this watermelon. And I think that is adorable. Okay, and then go around this rind here. Okay, there's that. Get rid of all of these scraps. So now we can go ahead and start putting this together. But first, what I want to do is I'm going to take a small little bit of this black and white and I'm going to run it down here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a piece here so we can tape this to the back. Just going to flip this around and just use a small piece of tape to hold that in place. Okay, like that. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut another little piece of this. And then I'm going to just tie it. Now I'm not gonna tie a bow, I'm just gonna tie a knot here. So you know how last week I told you guys that I was watching that True Detectives show? It actually, the last couple of episodes that I've watched, it's actually gotten really good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it kind of just like got upbeat and a lot more things kind of started happening. So I'm like, cool. I'm glad that it kind of took a really good turn and kept my interest. Then, of course, I found another show and I started watching. It's called well, there's actually two that I just started watching, but the one that I'm really into, it's called Fire Country. I just saw that season 2 came out. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't hear about season 1. So I'm kind of binge watching season 1. And then the other one it's called Ghosts. And it's been on for a while. And it's kind of cute too. This couple, they inherit this house from a family member. And the house has a bunch of ghosts that live in the house. And the wife, she winds up having like a close death encounter, I guess you call it. And so now she can see all these ghosts that live in the house. It's actually a kind of a cute show. Okay, so I'm going to place this. I'm going to turn it off center and place it right like that with it being dimensionals on there. Popping that up a little bit. Hello, Mary. Let's get all these off of here. They're sticking to everything and they're going to be sticking to me. All right, and then we're going to just place these pieces of watermelon. I'm going to put a dimensional up on the top of this one because the bottom is going to be touching my piece that's already bumped up. So all I want to do is just add a little bit of glue to the side here. And that is going to come in here just like so at an angle. And then this one here is going to come in like that. So again, with just a dimensional on the bottom, glue towards the top. Okay, and place that just like that. Now you know what I think I'm going to do is just to give this just a little bit more. I'm going to just take my wink of Stella and just add a little bit of wink just to the seeds, just to give it just a little bit of shine. I'm not sure if you guys can see that wink on there, but it's kind of cute on those little seeds. Then I have a couple of different, I brought over different embellishments. I wasn't sure what I wanted to use. I think I actually I used these. I used the iridescent rhinestones on this one. And yeah, they're a little bit shiny, but I think they kind of get lost. They kind of blend in too much. So I wanted to bring in the black. And I kind of like the black matte because it almost looks like seeds. So I'm going to bring in some of those. Put that there. Put a little one there. Yes, I definitely like those better. And we'll go like that. There we go. I really like the black on there over the clear because you can't see those. The black just brings all that black all together. Now we need to put an inside to this card. And I need to cut some more innies. Oh my goodness. And of course they're stuck together. So I think what we're going to do is I am going to bring in this watermelon again. And I'm going to stamp it right down here. Because I like how the end of this looks like the butt end of a watermelon. And then we're going to do some more of these leaves. Just like that. And then I don't think I brought a sentiment over for this one. Ah, shoot. I forgot all my stamps for my sentiments. Well, I might just take them off my other cards then because I forgot. Dang it. Or we just bring in something else from here, maybe. Darn, darn, darn. Or we just leave it without a sentiment. That's always okay too. But on my other ones, I definitely need a sentiment. So we're just gonna have to use something else. All right, so this is gonna go in the inside of our card. Okay, there is that. So there is our first card. Isn't that so cute? Oh, I just love it. I love those colors. It's like the traditional watermelon colors. So there is card number 1. Okay, for card number 2, we're going to use this technique, but of course I forgot the sentiment, so I might just pull this one off, or we'll just go without a sentiment. So this one, we're going to use a technique using watercolor paper. And this is the one that Kelly did, and this is super fun on this card. So let me get my next card base out. Okay, my next card base is using a piece of, where did I put, oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I need a piece of that. Okay, so my card base is the basic white thick. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And where did I put it? We're going to burnish that down to make that nice and straight. My next layer is a piece of Granny Apple Green. This is 4 by 5 1/4. That's the next layer. I then need my, this is our 100 fluid watercolor paper. And so it's got a kind of a little texture to it, but it's for watercoloring. And so it really absorbs paper nicely when you're doing this. So I need a scrap of that. So with a scrap of watercolor, I'm then going to use, again, that same size, the middle size frame here from our contoured scallop dies. And when I do, I get this piece here. This is from our watercolor. Then we're going to need some scraps of white to do our melon and a piece of black that I forgot the stamp set, so I'll have to find something else that's going to work. The stamp set that I used on here was the Make a Milkshake, and I liked that it says life is sweeter with you because watermelon is sweet and it's just yummy. But I failed. So anyways, we won't talk about that because. All right, so I'm going to bring this in. I also need my Melon Mambo and I need my Granny Apple Green. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my melon on here first. So let me clean this off because right now we've got Garden Green on there and I want to stamp tone on tone Now, these stamps are really fun because this is a part of our distinctive stamping. So it has that very realistic look to them when you stamp them. That's kind of how this stamp, what it's called, the way that the stamp is formed. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to start stamping my watermelon on here. Let's do one more right up here. Okay, that looks good. Now, because this is a glass mat, all I have to do is just grab my chamois that came with it and just wipe that off. And then, since I've got this open, I'll go ahead and clean that. Just clean a couple of these off since I've got this open. Grab my little tissue here and wipe off some of that excess water, but we do need that out now because we're going to do some watercoloring. So we have our water painter pens. I am going to just grab one of these. Now, the way these work, let me make sure I grab the one that just has water in it because I keep rubbing alcohol in one of these. I think it's the smaller of the two that has rubbing alcohol in it. No, but I did already use this because it has the pink staining on that. So I'm just going to bring that in and just kind of clean that off. That's what I have my little rag here for, or my Kleenex. So just keep rubbing all that color out. So when you get color on there, that's what's going to help you get that out. So that's okay the way it is. Let me do it just a couple more times. Just make sure I get all that pink out of there. Because I don't want to flood. Okay, so I'm going to bring this other one in just to flood the paper. So we're not sitting here all night long. Okay, so now I'm just going to get some water. So there's two little push right here on the sides of this that you push those in, and you'll see the water kind of come into this little foam pad. Now, the way you open these is they're backwards. So I don't know if these are European or what it is, but when you open it, you feel like you should be tightening something because you're going the opposite way. And then you should be loosening it as you're tightening it. So we're going to squeeze this and we're going to get all this out. And then I'm just going to bring water in and I'm just going to flood this paper just like so. Make it pretty soupy. We want it pretty wet there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my big block, and I should have done this ahead of time, but that's okay. And I'm just going to dip part of that in the green, like so. Okay. And then with my Melon Mambo, I'm going to do the other end, just like so. And then again, making sure this is very wet. I kind of saturate it a little bit more. Now, since this has already got a little bit of pink on it, I'm going to go ahead and just go right back into the pink. So I'm going to put just a little bit of ink or water in there, get that kind of souped up. And then I'm just going to see how that kind of like pops on there. I'm just lightly dabbing that color right on there. Isn't that cool? It's like a burst. It's like a pop of color. So see, Cheryl watched Kelly do it. Yeah, it's really neat. I loved watching, you know, the technique, how she showed this, because it is really cool. That's why I thought, man, I got to show you guys how to do that because it is just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to call that good on that pink. But typically you would need to just let all that ink come out of there. But since I've got the extra pin here, I'm going to use this one with the green. So I'm going to bring some more of that water in. And then I'm just going to pop that green on here. And again, it's going to flood those areas. Now the green doesn't pop as much as that pink really does. Okay, let's bring some more in here. I'm gonna now dab some of these other areas to really get this color around. Now, if you ever get a color somewhere where you don't want it, or if it's too heavy, take your tissue and just hold it to the side, and that will draw that moisture up. These Kleenex must have some kind of, I think my mom buys the Kleenex that have like moisture in them, or the soft stuff, because it's not drying that water like it should be. But normally if you put a tissue, hold on, I need to go grab a different tissue because those are not working. So I just went in there and I grabbed some toilet paper. It will work. So see all this color that is coming down? See how if you use just some tissue, it'll pull that extra ink and water that has flooded just a little bit too much in the corners. Then you can come back in with some more color if you want. But just like that, just to give you some added color that makes a really, really neat effect in the back. And like I said, it looks like just a burst that has happened on your paper. And then I'm just going to take that off and wipe that excess water off. Then, again, with that cool chamois that we have, I can come in with this and I can just wipe my block right off just like so after I make a mess. Okay, and then your block is ready to go. You can throw that in the dishwasher, you can take it to the sink, you can clean it all down with a little bit of soap if you want. All right, now I need this to be dry, so what I'm going to do is I am going to grab my heat tool and I'm just gonna hold this and just run some heat over this, and it is going to move that water around. But this dries fairly quickly also. Okay, there we go. So that's how we do that. Okay, so that's gonna set there. Now what we need to do is we need to get our scrap piece of paper and of course just stick it in the moisture there. Okay, and what we're gonna do with this is I'm going to grab the other little watermelon slice. So we've got this slice, so it's more like the half of a watermelon on this, and then we need this rind. See, I need to do it on a piece of paper so it actually gets picked up. Okay, so that'll be the bottom rind of the little slice there. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to stamp this on the edge, and then I'm going to use that punch and show you how that works. So with this, I am going to stamp in Melon Mambo. I'm going to stamp right like that. And then I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to do it again over here. Okay, then I'm going to take Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use the rind. Okay, there's that one. And let's do this one. Oh, I can't do it that way. I can't see it. Okay, there's that one. Perfect. Okay, we need to bring in black because we're going to bring in those little watermelon seeds, because why have a watermelon without seeds? So I'm going to stamp there, there, and there. And then do the same thing on this one. Okay, just like that. I need to turn on the light in here because I need to go find a stamp set really quick. Let me look because I need some words on this, and since I was too cool and forgot my stamp sets, I need to find something. What is this? It's not quite what I want. Let me find a sentiment. I was hoping I could find something with kind of something like a sweet pun. I don't want to make you guys wait forever. What does this one have? No. I'm like over here trying to read quickly on what I have. Maybe this will work. I'll grab a couple of different sentiments here to see what we can maybe make work. Okay, I'll grab these. Hopefully they'll work. I grabbed the Genuine Gems, the Here's a Card, and Wonderful Thoughts. I just grabbed some sentiment stamp sets because, like I said, I forgot the other one that I had used. Okay, so this is where the fun part comes in. So you've got this to do the full watermelon like that. You could do the full watermelon in this, but you can also do the ends like your rind in here as well. See how that works? Isn't that cool? So just line it up with the curve of that. Oh, see, Kim is extremely organized. Maybe you need to make a spreadsheet for me too. No, just kidding. Hello, Beverly. Yeah, no, if I could only be that organized in life, that would be fantastic. But I would drive myself bananas trying to keep it organized as much as I'm constantly going through stamp sets. To do a spreadsheet like that, that would be wonderful in theory. But that sounds like a lot of work. And it's probably not because you're used to doing it. But to just have the time to just sit down and do it, that's where I would be like, ugh, I just got to get her done. Okay, I also have, this is our black Stampin' Right. But yeah, that would make total like life easy because then you could just type in whatever you knew, like if you could categorize it in some way, like if they're only sentiment sets, then you can see everything that you have. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this, I just forgot the stamp set that I used. Like I said, I have this one that is Life is Sweeter with You. I just thought it was kind of a cute little pun to go along with the watermelons, but that's from the Make a Milkshake, and that's over at my house. So I'm not going to run over there and get it because we'll be here all night long. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and I'm just going to flick the end of that, just adding like a little splatter behind that. And then on my little watermelons, I need to first take a length. So I'm gonna cut a 10-inch length of my gingham here. And so for this first part, I'm going to cut just a length of it off to go around my card. And then you have about 4 inches here, well, a little bit over 4 inches that you're going to tie the knot on here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to see first which side I like better to be up. Which one has kind of more color to it. And I think I'm going to go this way with that. So I'm going to just bring this up to kind of that third little digit there. And then tape that down. Okay, do the same thing over here. Okay, so there is some more of that black and white ribbon there. Then with my little leftover piece, I'm just going to, again, just tie a knot, not a fancy little bow or anything. And then cut off the ends. All right, and then we're gonna put some dimensionals, or one dimensional on one of these. And then the other one's gonna get glued straight down. So this one's gonna go over here. So that one's gonna go right here on this side. And then this one that's going to get popped up is going to go right over here. Kind of just setting in on that, like so. See how cute that is? Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's adhere this down, and then we're going to do our sentiment. Okay, this is going to get adhered right down here. Let's see what we want for our sentiment. So I've got nothing else to say, but I'm sorry. I love you. No. Okay. I could do happy birthday. That might work. And then this one is thinking of you. See, none of these really have that cute pun to it. That life is sweeter with you. Like this. I think it needs the life is sweeter with you. So I'm going to show you guys. So what I would do is I would just stamp the life is sweeter with my Versamark. I would do white embossing powder and I would heat set that with my heat gun. And then, because I think this, I've already got this on here. I would rip that if I tore it off. Then when I heat set it, I just put it on there. So let me go ahead and adhere this down. This is gonna go kind of down towards this bottom corner. Give that a second. Ooh, maybe I can get it off of there. So we're gonna pretend that I just heat set this and embossed it, because you guys saw me do it. Right? Right. Everybody say right. Okay, so I fussy cut my words out, and yeah, you guys all saw me do that because I'm magical like that. And this little piece seems a little bit crooked, but we'll be okay. Actually, they came off pretty easy, surprisingly. Maybe it's because it's that water, the water paper. Yeah, there we go. And this is crooked. And I'm not going to rip the card for that. It's not crooked a lot, so we'll call it good. So there is our fun little watermelon card. Now what I'm going to do with this one as well, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to add some wink to those seeds again, because I really think it adds a really cute, just something to it. And then I got to decide what I want to add, because again, I think these little gems just get lost on there. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put these on there. These are the adhesive back sparkle gems. I'm gonna do the black ones again with black, because I think it needs the black. It just really kind of makes that pop. So I'm going to add the large one here in this kind of open space. And then I'll bring this one over here. Oh, and I said black. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me today? Ooh, you know what we can do? Hold on a second. This is something else that Kelly showed as well. Kelly, I'm stealing all your ideas, girl, because you got some good ones. So what we can do, hold tight. Let me grab, where'd she move all the pins? Ooh, let's see if this will work. Hold tight. Let me grab Melon Mambo and see. The black would look good though. Where's the Melon Mambo? Oh, there it is. Okay, so if we grab our Stampin' blends, which are alcohol, we can actually come in here, and I should have done these over here, but since I had black in my mind, but I grabbed silver, who knows? We can actually take these with our Stampin' blends, because they're alcohol, they will dry, and look at that. Can you guys see how fun? Hopefully my light catches that up high enough. You can actually color these silver gems to match whatever you needed to match. So actually that was kind of a good oops. A learning oops. A learnable moment. Isn't that what they call them? Teachable moment. I don't know. But how cool is that? Ooh, I'm glad that happened, because I definitely wanted to show you guys that, but then I kind of spaced it because I was going with the whole black theory. But that is beautiful. I like the Melon Mambo colored. So all I did was I used the silver ones and colored them with my Stampin' blends. So it's very, very fun to use some of our gems that are kind of clear like that they're still super sparkly, but then they match whatever color you need them to match. So there is that card. Let's do the inside of this really quick. I think I'm going to do that slice. So let's grab our little slice here and our Melon Mambo. I'm going to stick my hand in that Melon Mambo ink. I'm going to take this and I'm going to do that right here. Then using the green, we're going to do the rind. Add that right there. Okay, and we're going to do our seeds. This time I think I'm going to, yeah, we'll just go back up here again. Yep, that looks cute. So we're going to keep it like that. And so there is our second card. What do you guys think of that watercolor technique? Doesn't that look like so much fun? And it is so easy. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Ooh, where's my other card at? Oh, right here. Now I got to try it. Okay, so I was telling you guys that on this one, I put the iridescent. Kim said that you can color those just like you can, what am I looking for? Oh, the Melon Mambo. I put it away. Jeez. So I'm going to grab the Melon Mambo and I'm going to try it on these ones. These are the, where the heck did I put those embellishments? Because I know I just showed them to you guys, but anyways, I don't know where I put them. I have stuff everywhere. Oh, here they are. They're upside down. So these are the rhinestones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to color them. Ooh, look at you, smarty. It does work on those too. Well, you learn something new every day. Ooh, that makes those pretty also, because they're still iridescent, so you still kind of get that color. Well, there you go. I guess you can change the color of those too. Who would have thunk? There you go. All right. Well, that is awesome. I'm learning to A, not forget my other items over at my house and that you can color our embellishments. I think you could probably do the same thing to these white ones. I don't know, just saying, you probably could. All right, so there's card number 2. And let me get myself situated here. Let me move those so I don't lose them. All right, so now we're gonna do card number 3. And I am in love with this card. The colors are just, I think they're delish. I love the pink and the black together. Again, I forgot this sentiment. This is from the new Heartfelt something. It goes with our hexagon. So anyways, I'm going to just put a label and I'm going to leave it because I can't pull this one off here. And I'm not even going to try because I will destroy this card. But yeah, that was a fail on my behalf, but I'm human and I'll accept that I make mistakes. And hopefully you guys can all understand that it happens. All right, so with this card, I am using Granny Apple Green for my base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I even go through and like make sure I have everything, but today I didn't. And so now I'm paying for it. All right, let me move some of the stuff around so I can see where my life is. Okay, so there is our base. Our next piece that we're going to need is a piece of Melon Mambo. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And what I did for this, just to add, so I need my, let me see if I grabbed that. See, I probably forgot that too, but that's okay, because she has one. Okay, so I grabbed the Whisper White. Let me see where the refill is for this. I'm pretty sure this is going to need some ink. Well, it's not where she normally keeps it, so Ooh, I think I found it. Yep. So here's some craft ink, because I'm pretty sure she hasn't touched hers in a while. So I'm going to just add, just up here to the corner of this, just going to add just a little bit more ink to this pad. Okay, get that absorbed in there. Use my tissue, because this craft ink is kind of sticky. All right, so then what I have done to this piece here is I have just grabbed a little sponge. You can use any of our daubers or anything like that. But on here, I'm just going to dip my brush into my ink and just get a little bit of ink on this sponge. Now, this is one of our old sponges that we used to have, but it'll work. And I'm just going to lightly add a little bit of white ink to this to just kind of add a little bit of texture to the other side. And now I'm only doing it over on the right side, because as you can see from my card here, we're going to be covering the left side of it. But I just want kind of that dauby. There we go. And it's not like crazy, but there's just a little bit of texture there to kind of take a little bit of heat off of all that pink. And then, so our next pieces that we're going to need a piece of the basic black and then a 1/4 inch smaller of the white. So the black is 3 inches by 5 1/4, and my white is 2.5 inches. So it's 1/2 inch difference. My white is 2.5 by 5 1/4. And then, so what I'm going to do with this is where I'm going to start bringing in all of my stamping. Let that white ink dry, because with our white, it does take a little bit longer to dry because it's kind of got a sticky, it's a pigment ink, so it takes a little bit longer. So what I need to do is I need to grab all my little pieces here. I'm going to need my seeds. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab our granny apple. And then on this piece, I'm just going to start doing all my little wedges of my pieces of watermelon here. Just kind of put a couple of these down. I'm bringing in my little half piece here. I'm going to turn and bring this in like so. Bring this one right down here. I think I'm gonna call that good, because then once we start adding the rinds to it, we'll start adding a little bit more color here. And then this rind needs to go on these ones. Okay, I'm gonna call that good on those. So I'm done. Well, no, I need to stamp on a scrap piece of white. I need to stamp my little half melon. And then the rind for that. Okay, now let's bring in black for all of my little seeds. So with this, you're pretty much making your own designer series paper. You're making your own background out of all these little melons, which is really fun to do. I mean, you could do a full sheet of this and cut it down. Now, looking at this, can you see where people went with the pizza concept? Doesn't that totally go with like the whole pizza thing? Yeah, I just thought that was kind of fun. So then I'm gonna just come in with a couple of these, add these just kind of around. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna grab the little single. So now I've got every single one of my stamps from this set, once I grab this little single guy, that we've used tonight. Okay, that one we'll do there. Kind of come over here. We're just gonna throw some little seeds around here. I think one more down here. Okay. Now we're gonna do that same little flicking technique. I wanna make sure all my papers are out of the way so we're not getting ink on everything. I need to grab that black pen again. And with the more of the paintbrush end, I'm just going to take this and just flick. And you can go heavier or lighter, just depends on how you want it to look. Then I always like to take my pen and just kind of get that excess ink off that, so it's not just sitting there. But yeah, it makes a mess while you do this. But it's a good mess because it looks good. So not sure if you guys, maybe up close, you can see a little bit more of that splattered look on there with that black ink. I just kind of think it kind of like dulls down all that white space. Let's grab our chamois again and wipe this off. Okay, and then using my contoured scallops, coming in with the very, very small one for the sentiment, I have used a little scrap of black. I take that, I go cut that out, and when I do, I get my little black sentiment piece here. But again, I'm not ripping the sentiment off that other card because it's already been kind of put in place. But I am going to show you, okay, so now we've got all these little black dots in here that need to come out. Okay, so that's gonna sit there. Now what I need to do with this is what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this, set it aside. I'm going to have this black part, I'm just going to start ripping, tearing down the sides of it, just kind of randomly. I'm not doing it any like cool way or anything. And then after I have it, I'm going to take this piece and kind of with this set aside to the other side of it and leaving a little bit of extra to it. Wait a minute. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Because all I want to see is just a little skosh of this black. But to make sure that I get it the same uniform, I'm just going to kind of use it as my guide here. Coming down. And because this piece is already a 1/2 inch smaller, you'll be okay. It'll work. So see, I need to tear just a little bit more up off of this piece here. So then that's going to line right up. So then you'll just see a little bit of that torn black on the side. And you can do a little bit more or less depending on how much of that black you want to see. Okay, then we're going to glue that together. If I was smart, I would have held them both together and torn them together, but yeah. And then just moved it over, but I didn't. Okay, that's gonna go right like that. Yeah, if I would have put this to this side, I could have torn them both together and then just slid this over, then it would have been perfect. So yeah, there's always that. Think of it after I do it. All right, now this is going to get lined right up to the very edge of this. See where that texture just kind of, if I was to just do it right on the plain melon, not to say that it doesn't look good, but I really like just a little bit of white clouding going on over here on it. I just think it really kind of adds a whole different texture to that piece. It's just another one of those things that just kind of grabs your eye, like, huh, is there really white on there, or am I seeing things? It just looks a little cloudy. Okay, then what I'm going to do is that's going to go in the center, but what I need to do first is I want to grab a length of the silver Simply Elegant, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a kind of a large bow with this. Just like that. So where I have these big ends sticking out. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this off. And then with this, I am going to bring in a mini glue dot. And I'm just putting it on the little knot there. Seeing where I want this placed, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put it right in the middle of where I'm going to be placing. But I'm turning it so this will now sit this, like this, over it. So that knot will actually be in the middle of this. But we're going to put some dimensionals on that and pop that up. But I'm not going to do that right now because I need to go home and I need to stamp that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look just like this. I'm going to put the Love You More, and then I'm going to heat emboss it with white powder, and then I will adhere that down since I kind of failed and didn't bring my stamp set over. Okay, so that will go there, but then we still have this little melon that we need to cut out. We're going to punch it out, but let's go ahead and add the little black seeds to it since I forgot. Okay, like so. Hello, Bonnie. Okay, again, bringing in our punch. and just putting this on the edge there, lining it right up with the curve of that punch. Punch that right out, and there you go, voila. Now this one, I didn't stamp it as close to the edge, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this extra white space, because I don't want that much white. And then with this, this will go right up here on this corner, like so, once I stamp that in there. And then that's going to all get adhered on my Granny Apple Green card base. And when I take photos, this will be complete when I take the photos of it to show you guys after I go home and heat emboss that with that cool stamp. And I will make sure that I put that other stamp set that I'm using. It's actually part of Sale-A-Bration's also. It is the, right there, I just had it. It is the Heartfelt, that's what it is, not Hexagon. It is the Heartfelt Hellos. And what I used was the Love You More from that set. I just think that's really cute, and it goes really well in this little rectangle that we have here from our scallop contour dies. But I forgot that set at home, so I failed. But I know you guys understand that life will keep going on. You guys could stamp it with anything you want in there, but it was just to kind of show you guys another one of our celebrations. But oh well, I forgot it. But you guys could put any sentiment that you want in there. So let me bring in the other one and show you it completed. So this is what it will look like when it is done. We will then bring in some of these silver, or you could use the black, little rhinestones on there. As you can see that I've added those to that. I've then taken, again, my Wink of Stella, and I'm not sure if this is still out of stock in my online store. I didn't check it today. I should have, but I kind of just spaced it. Again, I'm going on with the spacing thing. And I went in and I did every one of the little seeds. As you can see on here, all of my little seeds, I have added some of that Wink of Stella too, just to give it just a little bit more bling to it and some shimmer and shine. So that is what the completed card will look like. Let's put an inside to this card. So we'll just say that I fast forwarded life to a complete card, right? I think on here I am going to bring in this little slice. Since we've got the slice here, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to bring in this one, and I'm going to add it over here. And then one more slice. Since we've got that slices going on over here, we're going to bring it in and keep it going here. And then, oh, I'm sure you guys' dogs are going crazy. Whoever's sitting there with their dogs. It must mean that the UPS guy is here, because it's the only time she barks. Oh, you know what it is? We've been having a pack of coyotes and the javelinas out here at night. And she, for some crazy reason, she can hear them out there, and she will go running out. She's out on the patio right now. And she shoos them off by barking at them. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because it's awfully late for the UPS guy to be coming out here. But he's come out here later than this, so it could be. I just don't hear him, and normally I would hear him. Okay, just like so. And And that is going to go in the inside of our card. Just like that. And voila, there is our last card. There it is, completed in the inside. So what do you guys think of that, even though I failed miserably? Again, it's not the end of the world. You guys can, at least I had one made to show you guys, right? What kind of dog is she? What kind of dog do you have?
She's Chow and
she's a mutt, pretty much. I mean, she's
Chow and
German Shepherd.
No, the dogs.
Border Collie.
No, we had them.
Oh, Healer.
Healers.
Okay, so she's part Chow and part Healer. That's why she's got a deep bark. Yes, she is loud. She does get going out there. Well, and my mom's. Oh, she did? That's what I said. There must be javelinas or the coyote. Yeah. Okay, so let me bring in all three of these cards to show you guys. So there is our lineup of cards. These are the completed ones. So you can see how they look when they are done. So yeah, remember that when you place an order of $35 or more with me during this week, you have until Saturday midnight Mountain Time. Use my host code on all of your orders. Unless your order is going to be over $150, do not use my host code. You will still get this kit from me, but I want you to also have those Stampin' rewards. So don't use my code if you're spending over $150. But other than that, use my host code for all of your orders and you will receive this beautiful kit in the mail. You will get all the die cut pieces that you need. So like, in other words, these two white pieces, you're going to get those from me. I will not give you the sliced wedges, that kind of stuff, because you're going to need to cut those out when you stamp them. You won't get any stamped images, but you'll get all the pre-cut paper to go ahead and create these three beautiful watermelon or watercolor melon cards. Remember that this set cannot be purchased. This is a set that you can earn free with a $50 purchase during celebrations. All right, you guys, thank you so much for sticking with me and cooperating with me with my own frustrations of forgetting things. But again, life goes on. All right, you guys, have a great week. I will see you guys next Monday. And I might be putting up a video later on this week. It will be over on YouTube and my blog. I'm going to show you guys a technique. I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but I think it is such a beautiful technique that I want to share with you guys. So keep watch. It'll probably be around like Thursday or Friday over on my blog. And I will see you guys next Monday. Love you all. Thank you all for coming in here and watching and spending your evening with me. Bye-bye.